Josh booked a dispersed site in Allegheny National Forest for 3 nights. It was remote, the kind of place where you drive an hour past the last marked road and then hike in another 2 miles. There was a truck at the trailhead, a red Tacoma, backed in, covered in a couple days of pollen. Josh remembers being surprised by it. He picked this spot specifically because nobody comes out this far. He figured whoever it was had gone in deep and he'd probably never even see them. The site was immaculate. That was the first thing Josh noticed. The fire ring was squared up, no trash, no glass, no burnt cans. The ground around it was swept clean, and a small stack of split wood already there under a piece of tin. He was grateful for it. He deliberately buried his phone at the bottom of his pack when he arrived. The whole point of this trip was to not look at his screen the entire time, and he hadn't touched it since the trailhead. A fire probably wasn't in the cards tonight. The air was heavy and wet, everything on the ground was damp, and after driving and hiking all day, he had just enough energy to set up camp and turn in. The next day was a good one. He fished the creek in the morning and caught dinner for himself. He hiked a ridge in the afternoon, got back to camp around dusk. He was tired, but in a good way. That night, he went to build a fire. He was raking the old cinders to the side and making a bed for the kindling when he noticed a tooth. No, a pile of teeth. Right there under the ash in the middle of the ring. At first, Josh thought maybe it was an animal, because that's what you tell yourself. But then he noticed a molar with a silver filling in it. He immediately dug his phone out of the pack. 1 bar, enough to barely bring up his Facebook. And what loaded was a post in the county's outdoor group, 3 days old. 2 campers missing out of this exact area. Attached was a photo of a red Tacoma at a trailhead. Josh got up without breaking down camp. He left the tent standing, left the food, took his pack and his light, and started back down the trail he'd come in on. He made it maybe half a mile. The trail was dark, even with the flashlight. He went around a sharp bend and almost ran directly into them. 2 feet in front of him, strung up by their ankles at about head height, turning slowly, hung the 2 missing backpackers. Close enough together that there was no way past them without going through or off trail into the dense brush. He went off trail, downhill until he hit the creek, and he followed it in the dark for hours until it crossed a forest road. A county deputy picked him up a little after 2 a.m. When they got up there the next morning, the bodies were gone. So was Josh's tent. The site was immaculate. Fire ring squared up, ground swept clean, exactly the way Josh found it.